In today's video, I'm going to teach you one of the most versatile scales. It's called the Pentatonic Scale. It only has 5 notes. With this scale, you will be able to play in any key over all of the common chords. So 1, 4, 5, 6 minor. You will be able to play over all of those chords with this one scale, so stay tuned. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. We're going to start in the key of C because C is one of the easiest keys because there's no sharps, there's no flats, just makes things a lot simpler for us. If you take a regular C major scale, it has 7 notes, right? We've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B. What we're going to do is we're going to take 5 notes out of that scale. We're going to take the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, and the 6, okay? So the way that I would finger this on the mandolin, you're going to start on your first finger on C. We're going to play first finger, second finger, third finger, 1, 2, 3 of the C major scale. We're going to skip 4. Okay, we're going to skip the 4th note, which would be F. And we're going to jump right to the 5th note, which is going to be G, 6th note, which is A. Then we're going to skip the 7th note and go right back up to 1, which is C. Okay, that's the pentatonic scale. It's that simple. Now it's super important that we remember to skip the 4 and the 7 because those 2 notes are problem notes and they will cause problems later on when we start playing this over different chord progressions. So all in all, we just eliminate those, makes things a lot easier for us. So the whole scale sounds like this. That was 2 octaves. So once you know this shape, you can move it all up and down the neck to get different pentatonic scales for whatever key that you're in. So now let's say that we wanted to play a B major pentatonic scale. Well, all we gotta do is move down a fret, do that exact same fingering. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4. Go up the next octave, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3. There's our B major pentatonic scale. You can go down to A flat. And then the 2 scales that do change up just a little bit in terms of fingering are going to be G and D because we use our open strings for those. So you basically just kind of shift everything down 1. So we've got open, and then 1, 2, open 1, 3, open 1, 3, open 2. That is your G major pentatonic scale. Okay, so now that you've learned the scale, let's kind of talk about how to put it into practice. So what I'm going to do is I am going to play a backtrack of me playing in the key of, we'll just take C because that's what we started with, in the key of C, and I'm going to kind of switch around between the C chord, the 1 chord, 4, the 5, the 6 minor chords. And I am going to use this scale, only the notes in this scale. I'm not going to shift around. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to stick to the notes in this scale and play over all of those chords. Okay, so that was just in complete real time. I didn't practice that. I didn't plan that. That's just using those notes. That's what I came up with. And that is kind of what this scale is great for. So if you are ever in a spot where you need to improvise, you're trying to come up with a solo, you need a little lick to play real quick over something. This is my go-to scale for that because as you just saw, it doesn't really matter what chords are underneath it, it's gonna sound great. And because we've eliminated the 4 and the 7 of the scale, we're not gonna have any issues with clashing or anything like that. That is why this scale is super beneficial, and it's literally 5 notes. It's so easy to learn, and once you learn it, you can do it in any key. So I would encourage you, if you don't know the scale, get very familiar with it. Practice it, practice it, practice it to where you know it like the back of your hand. You could play it in your sleep. And of course, from this scale, you can branch out, and improvising is a whole nother thing. But this is a really simple way to be able to come up with your own solos, with your own licks, without going to so much trouble to learn a whole bunch of different scales over different chords. This just makes everything super simple. And really, it just depends on what key you're in. So if you're in the key of D, you're gonna use the D pentatonic scale. If you're in the key of G, you're gonna use the G pentatonic scale. That's kind of obvious, but you know, there it is. So I am going, at the end of this video, I'm gonna make just a little backing track that you can practice with. So go ahead, run through this, practice it with the backing track, get used to it. You can also look up backing tracks on YouTube for tons of different keys. That way you can practice it in a bunch of different keys as well. Just knowing this simple scale can make such a difference in your ability to play in kind of surprising circumstances or when you're not expecting it. Your hands can just go back to it. It's always going to sound great. You can always remember it because it's 5 notes. I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Let's go ahead and practice with that backing track. And 1, 2, 3, 4.